In this video, we will see how to install and run the Ollama local LLM server in a GitHub Codespace. This way, you don't have to do anything to your local machine. Now, running Ollama in a GitHub Codespace works. However, it comes with a few caveats. First, to effectively work with LLMs, you need to have a GPU. And GitHub Codespaces does not support GPUs. If it did, the free tier that we are using would not support them. GPUs are a precious resource and therefore are usually not given away for free. Secondly, we are working with a limited amount of memory, 8 GB in the smallest code space. By contrast, the 14-parameter 5.4 model from Microsoft is 9 GB. The 70 billion parameter Llama 3.3 model from Meta is 43 GB, and the DeepSeek R1 model with 671 billion parameters is 404 GB. Therefore, we are going to have to restrict ourselves to very small models, just a few billion parameters or less, to be able to effectively use Ollama in a codespace. This doesn't mean that running Ollama in a GitHub Codespace is useless, it's just not as capable as it might be on a machine with a dedicated GPU. You can still experiment with and prototype applications leveraging Ollama, and for free, as long as you stay within the free tier usage limits. Here I have a new GitHub Codespace created from the blank template. If you want to see how to set up a GitHub Codespace, see the video linked in the description. And in the new browser tab, I'll go to ollama.com, the Ollama website, and click on the download link. Now I am running Windows, and the site has detected that and suggested the Windows installer for me. However, remember that GitHub Codespaces actually runs on Linux. Therefore, I need to click the link for the Linux installer. Instead of a download, to install Ollama on Linux, you need to copy this command and paste it in the terminal in your GitHub Codespace and run it. This can take a little while, so I will speed it up through the magic of video. Notice this warning. Unable to detect NVIDIA or AMD GPU, install LSPCI or LSHW to automatically detect and install GPU dependencies. You can safely ignore this warning. As already discussed, GitHub Codespaces doesn't have support for GPUs. Therefore, installing LSPCI or LSHW would do no good because you can't detect what isn't there. The last line of the output confirms that Ollama was installed, and now the Ollama command is available at the command line. If you've watched the previous videos in this series, these commands should seem familiar, so I won't go over them here. On Linux, you do need to use the serve command to manually start the Ollama runtime. And you'll need to open a new terminal prompt to continue interacting with Ollama. Next, head back to the Ollama website and click on the Models link at the top left. Find Llama 3.2 and click the link for it. Click the drop-down to see the sizes for the different models. The 3 billion parameter model is 2 GB. That should work well in the codespace as long as we don't feed it any crazy prompts. Back at the command line, pull the model. And I'll need to speed this up as well. Confirm that the model downloaded with the list command, and run it. Now I'll give it a prompt such as, list the 3 main differences between the GeForce RTX 3080 and the GeForce RTX 4080. The model will think for a few seconds and then start to stream the response. Notice that compared to ChatGPT, it is rather slow and terse. I'll go ahead and speed this one up too. If you're enjoying this video and want to see more, click the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. To be notified of future videos, click the bell to know as soon as new videos are published. As we are using a GitHub Codespace, most Visual Studio Code extensions will work, including the AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. This will give you a user-friendly interface on top of Ollama. In the extension, click the plus icon in the My Models header, and click Add an Ollama Model. Select models from Ollama Library to access locally downloaded models, and check the Llama 3.2 3 billion model and click OK. The Llama 3.2 3 billion model will show up in the My Models panel. In the Tools panel, click Playground. Now you can interact with the model using a chat interface. Ensure that Llama 3.2 is selected. You could set a system message, but I'll go ahead and give it the prompt. Tell me 3 interesting facts about Chattanooga, Tennessee. Notice that in the Playground, the markdown is rendered, so you get the rich formatting. And I'll need to speed this up as well. You can also still interact with the REST API. Here is a request using the REST client extension for Visual Studio Code. It uses the generate endpoint to compose a haiku about Visual Studio Code. And you can still write code against a model with the Ollama Python package. Now, at the end of the day, this isn't something you would probably use long term. However, if you want to experiment with a new Ollama feature or prototype an AI application, you could use this to get started. And the answer to the question, can you run Ollama in a GitHub Codespace, is yes. However, it has limited feasibility beyond experimenting, as you can only run very small models. Thanks for watching.